So the first topic for this hour is how to quickly and easily memorize your dance routines, even if you found it hard before. And then in our second session later on, I want to talk about how to consistently fill your classes, reach more people, and grow your community, even if you're starting from scratch, even if you've never started your dance classes before. And then in my third session, I'm going to talk about how to confidently lead your classes. Lead it as a teacher, but also lead it like a professional who's running a mini business. And then in our final session today, I'm going to talk about the 3 mistakes that stop a dance business in its tracks. You just can't get going and because something's not right about the way you run it. And if you have yet to start a class, I'm going to show you how to avoid the mistakes I've made. And then tomorrow, it's going to be very exciting. We're going to talk about money, all right? We all have a passion, but I have a passion with a purpose. So I'm doing it because I love building a community and I love bringing joy to as many people as possible through dancing. So tomorrow's session is about how to bring your passion and your purpose and not make a loss, but make a good income from your passion, which is my dream. So before I dive in and talk about memorizing dance routines, I'll just tell you in 30 seconds to a minute a little bit about myself. If you haven't met me before, my name is Julie, and I have been running swing dance classes in the northeast of England since 1995. I first came across Lindy Hop in County Durham in Ferry Hill, would you believe it? A group from London came for a week-long workshop and they did a Charleston workshop and I was just hooked. And basically I've changed my life from being a school teacher to running my own business because I love teaching and I love interacting with people, but I wanted a life that is totally free to do what I believe in and free to be with wonderful, positive people and free to make a difference. So today I'm going to share with you the mistakes I've made along my journey, so hopefully you can avoid them, and how I carried on teaching throughout the pandemic, and how I grew my classes to about 50 ladies, sometimes 60 in a class from the beginning. So one of the things we need to talk about as would-be teachers are your challenges. It's better to know what's going to be challenging, so that you know how to face those challenges. So I thought I'll give you a minute, either in your notebook or you can pop it in chat. Just off the top of your head, what do you think will be challenging? There may be hundreds, but just pop in your notebook or even better on chat. What is going to be challenging for you, do you think, when it comes to running your own dance classes or getting your dance classes started? So I'll give you a few seconds while I take a drink. Yes, convincing people to come along. Exactly. We're going to definitely cover that. How to convince people to come along and try something new. Because something new is often scary, isn't it? For anybody, if somebody said to me, try a somersault class or gymnastics. So yeah, venue, your ability to dance, pricing, we're definitely going to talk about that, that's for sure. So as the session goes on, I want to make sure I answer all your questions. Anything that's left over that's not answered, make sure I cover them at the end with the Q&A. yeah, helping people to make sure they're willing to come along. So Wendy, thanks for that. Convincing people to try something new, where to start. There's so many things. It's like a big shopping list, isn't it? Big shopping list. So one of my methods is to deal with one thing at a time, one thing at a time, and to focus on one thing for an hour. So the ability to dance, this is what I'm going to show you in this hour, that depending on the dance style you're going into, um, obviously, to do a dance fitness business, you need to already be interested in dancing or interested in fitness. You don't need to be you don't need to be a champion dancer or a world champion in something. You need to know that you are safe. So you need to do two important things, two important words: safe and effective. Those two keywords. So I'm going to give you an overview. Obviously, we'll go deeper into it as the weekend goes on. Two keywords. You need to make sure your dance style is safe and effective. And by doing a course like SwingFit or another course like, if you can do these with fitness organizations, they call it movement to music, or they call it exercise to music. You can Google exercise to music. So it depends on whether you enjoy the more of the dancing side of things, or whether you enjoy more of the exercise side of things. Okay. So what I've done with SwingFit is I found a middle ground. Okay. So I found the middle ground so that it's more dancing with some exercise elements. So let's make sure you are safe. So I'll be talking about the health and safety aspects. Okay. So you need to make sure that what you deliver is safe and effective. Effective means if they've come to enjoy themselves and be able to do some dance moves, they've got to be able to dance by the end. If they've come to lose calories, they need to lose calories. So you could be so safe that it's not effective. Does that make sense? Yeah. Or it could be so high impact that you're not safe. So I will be covering the safety aspects as well. So I want to say hi to Anna. Anna is a good friend of mine from years ago. We haven't seen each other for a while. So quick hello. And if it's okay, Anna, I'll just keep everyone muted and I'll recap with you. So you haven't missed too much, Anna, and I'm recording this so that the recordings become available to you. So the next thing I want you to write down is, what do you think makes dancing or memorizing routines tricky? What makes learning to dance or memorizing routines tricky, either for yourself or for your potential participants? So Anna, we're just writing down our potential challenges so that we can anticipate them and find solutions for them before the challenges rear their ugly heads. So what is challenging potentially regarding learning to dance or learning dance routines in general? Tracy says too many steps. Yeah, I'll be curious. Tracy, do you want to pop down in the chat? What style of dancing have you had experience in? What have you joined in, or what have you enjoyed? So you're right. A lot of times it can be complicated because there's too many steps. Yes, Wendy, good point. Getting nervous and forgetting everything. Good point. So, yes, arm and leg coordination, that's for sure. Hi, Wendy, nice to see you there. So, it is nerve-wracking if your dance routines are too complicated. Yeah? So, we're going to write down in one column all our challenges. So if you've got your notebook, do two columns for me. Okay, write one column, challenges, and the second column, write down options. Options doesn't mean it's the final answer. It doesn't mean it's the final solution. We're going to explore some options. So I train teachers to teach my SwingFit classes, and I've always wanted dancing to be fun and joyful. I guess we all want that for our participants and for ourselves. Yeah, so my column of challenges would be too many steps, hard to coordinate, and nervous. Okay, so put all your challenges on one side, and then we want a different scenario. We want an ideal situation, which is, I guess, from what Wendy says, instead of nervous, confident, confidently remembering everything. That would be the ideal situation. So arm and leg coordination, yes. I'll show you a technique for that in a moment. Okay, and the technique is called layering. I shall write it down for you. It's just from the word layer, layering. So it's a technique I've used a lot for my teacher trainees. It basically means do one layer at a time. I'm a real believer in doing one thing at a time. One thing at a time. So I might want to eat a wonderful cake, but if I'm talking about the icing, the decoration, the lettering, the words, the size of the cake, no, talk about the cake first. What kind of cake do you want before you put the icing on? When we see a complete dance, it has a lot of elements in it. So elements. So we're going to talk about those elements. What are the elements of dancing? And today and over this weekend, I want to make this whole experience as easy as possible. Yeah. Rock and roll and strolling, really interesting because I use Lindy Hop for my dance classes. So, do you agree with this scenario? We have, on one hand, exercise classes that are not dancey enough. They're just repetitive. You just seem to be walking, or you seem to be out of breath. There's one extreme. And then the other extreme with dance classes is too complex. Yeah, on one hand, it's too simplistic. On the other hand, too complex. What we want is something in the middle. If I were to say to all of you right here, what is your ideal type of class? Obviously, not complicated and not boring. What would it be? So for SwingFit, I would just use one simple word for my classes, joyful. So everything I do, I try and make it joyful. Okay. If you had one word or just a few short words, all of you, can you pop into chat? What would be your ideal kind of class? Because you need to make it your own. All right. What makes you not nervous? What makes you confident is the fact that what you do fits in with your personality and your heart's desire. It's got to be true to you. I would be nervous if I had to teach a dance class and I don't know the dance style. Yeah. And I find it really, really tricky. So let's have a look what everybody's saying. Yes, enjoyable. Definitely. Definitely. So Tracy, I want you to find a new page in your notebook and put in capital letters, enjoyable. Because that is going to be what you call your core value. That's your guiding force. Okay? So anytime something's not enjoyable, you need to ask yourself and go, do I want to do that? Okay? So Paula, enjoyable and fun. Definitely. Yeah, if it's not enjoyable and fun, nobody's coming back. Nobody's coming back. Okay? So find a new page and put those are your core values. Enjoyable and fun. And Wendy's uplifting. Definitely. So Anna, simple but interesting. Good. It has to be simple, depending on the people you are going to teach it to. And later on, we'll be talking about how to make it interesting so that people will return. It's not a case of just making it interesting, it's knowing who it's interesting for. Okay, so I've presented my SwingFit routines to people who didn't like it. And at the beginning, when I had some ideas. But when I finally worked out who my ideal clients are, they came in droves. They came in droves. Yeah. So it needs to fit the right people. So we're going to be talking about that later on. So one of the reasons I'm going to tell you why dancing is hard for us as potential teachers and participants. Number one, you're dancing to music you don't like. That makes dancing hard. It just sounds too simplistic. Would you agree with that? Yeah? dancing to music you don't like. So, for example, house music, pop music might be the perfect thing for some people, but not for me personally. So I can't dance to it. So, what music would really thrill you? I would love to have you pop it in the chat. What makes your heart sing? Because dancing, I would say the majority of dancing is connected to music. There are dance styles that have no music, but I guess that's not what we're talking about right here. So, what kind of music makes your heart sing, makes your feet want to go? Rock and roll and country music. Yes, they're very party, very joyful, aren't they, Paula? Very joyful. All rock and roll music. Yeah. Gosh, we got lots of rock and roll here. Hey, we're definitely going to rock and roll with each other this weekend. All right. Anything you really love to dance? Oh, fabulous. So if you're going to start up your own classes, you're the ones that are going to be the ones in charge of getting hold of the music. And we'll talk about the nitty-gritty of that later on. I've got lots to talk about, but I've planned your sessions so that we don't talk about everything at once. Yeah, one thing at a time. So knowing about music license and that kind of thing, we're going to talk about that. So start with the music you absolutely love. How would you feel if I got you to dance to music you haven't got a clue about? You will feel lost and you will be you'll be struggling. So you need to do music you love. Okay. So that's number one. The other reason people can't dance or seem to have no rhythm is because they overanalyze. I'm a qualified musician. I did a music degree when I was younger, and I still teach music to university level today. And I can tell you this with certainty, everyone's got rhythm. Everyone, everyone. I can say this because I know the reason why some people appear to have no rhythm. Overanalysis, overthinking. Okay, when you teach a class, the majority will just copy you happily. La la la, they'll just go along. There's a small minority who are thinkers. We all do things differently. Of course we do. We're all different people with different minds, different experiences. So some are thinkers and they will overthink. Does that make sense? Even if I say mirror me, we're going this way. I don't have to say right or left, just mirror me. The thinkers will be going, is that a right hand or is that a left? So that moment of hesitation, they've missed a beat, haven't they? Because they've been thinking. Once you missed a beat, then you feel lost. Then you start thinking some more. The whole thing is terrible. All right. So your participants will overthink. But as potential teachers, when you learn the routines yourself, when you make up your own routines or when you learn a routine, you have to ask yourself, what makes it enjoyable? Let's go back to your values. What makes it enjoyable, fun, simple? Do not overthink. Do not overthink it. And you mustn't give routines that will cause your participants to overthink. Now, overthinking and thinking has its place. Right now, you are thinking because I'm inviting you to think with me. We're exploring some ideas. The time for dancers to think is when they're advanced level dancers, like to analyze. They go like, oh yes, that bit I must do a triple step. Right, that bit. Advanced. But if you are attracting people who come along to your class for fun, enjoyment, a bit of exercise, meeting friends socially, do you want to make them think hard? I guess not. Yeah? They've had a hard day at work. They come to your class for what? Recreation and relaxation. If anything that we do causes someone to think, they'll not come back because thinking is hard work. Yeah, to come to be a to be a dance teacher, to set up your own classes requires thinking. So it's not for everybody. It requires quiet thinking. Your participants have come to enjoy, to have fun, and to follow you easily. Would you agree with me? Yeah, just can nod or give me a thumbs up. Brilliant. So there are many, many reasons why people can't dance. So I'm going to not cover them all today. I'll cover one final one. One final one is rushing. Because they're a little bit anxious, they try and go faster than you. Now, I say to my ladies, I call them ladies because my class is a class for ladies in their 60s to 80s. They rush. They're trying to anticipate what's next. Why do they do that? Because they're trying to keep up. All right. So when someone appears to have no rhythm, the thinkers, the overthinkers miss the beat because they're busy thinking. The anxious people, the ones that are trying to keep up, they're trying to be ahead. I've always said to my ladies, it doesn't make sense to be ahead of your teacher because your teacher hasn't done it yet. So they try and be ahead. So I advise my ladies, I said, chill everybody, just be slightly late, be slightly behind me. And I make sure that when I put my song list together, the first few songs are warm-up songs, obviously, because you need to get your body warm up, but also their minds warmed up. Because when they come to your class, what have they come from? Bit of traffic? The cat's been sick? Trying to get the babysitting sorted? What is their energy? Isn't it? So you need to make sure the first few songs make them feel like, oh, this is easy. You don't want to give them a challenging song that is mentally challenging and physically challenging for the first 3 songs. You want to give them something that is relaxing, that makes them go, oh, that's okay. Oh, those moves are okay. I think I can do them. Yeah. So I'm going to demonstrate a couple of my routines in a moment to show you a relaxing song at the start of some of my routines. So I teach a 1-hour playlist. I say 1 hour is about 55 minutes. So that allows you to start 30 seconds late, just to go, everybody fit and healthy? Yeah. So I'll do procedure with you later on. And then it gives you a chance at the end to say, everybody okay? You know? So for my classes, they're very low impact because my ideal clients are 60s to the 80s. They are fit. They're not in chairs. They're not ill. They are fit 60 to 80-year-olds. And because I've studied their needs, so this is very important, which we will talk about a lot. Study the needs and the struggles of your participants. So why will they come to your class? You don't need to convince them if what you have to offer is what they need. Yeah. So if I said high impact, lose 5,000 calories and burn your thighs. My ladies will just not come back at all because it's the wrong thing for the wrong group. Now, I have a personal trainer. She loves the word burn. Oh my God. I still do personal training with her on Zoom. She often says, feel the pain, feel the burn. I go, this is not motivating for me, but I keep doing it because I have other needs. I want to remain strong. So you have to make sure that what the routines you give your your participants fit their needs. So I'm just going to switch cameras a little bit. So I'm standing up and dancing for just 5-10 minutes. So if you have space, join me. If you haven't, I don't mind if you just watch me. Okay. So I'm just going to switch my cameras. So the camera will go a bit strange for a second, so don't worry. Okay, techie thing. So I've got different cameras for my Zoom room. So I'm going to stand up in a moment and I'm going to switch my microphone. Testing, test, test. Okay, can you still hear me, everybody? Yes, cool. I'm just going to move these banners away. Welcome to my dance studio. There we are. The banners can go there. Right. Let's pop the music on as well. Pop the music on. Let's check head to toe. Yay. All these things for Zoom, eh? Oh, I'm pleased that many of you have the space to dance. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to show you my type of classes, my formula. This is not the only way, obviously. Yeah, you want to make it to suit your classes. The way I do it, to make it simple, I create visual cues. I tell you to go that way, I go that way. And my participants copy me. My product is a dance along product. It just depends. Some of you might want to create dance classes where you explain the technique, but mine is a dance along. So I invite you to dance along with me. I'm going to put the music on. As soon as you hear the music, would you give me a thumbs up? Then I know the music is working. Shout, sister, shout, sister, shout. Hallelujah. Shout, sister, shout. Oh, yeah. Shout, sister, shout. Tell the whole world what it's all about. Now there's a reason for living, a reason for dying, a darn good reason why a woman starts crying. Hey, looking a lovely. For a mole, a reason for a dimple. There ain't no reason why a man's so simple. Shout, sister, shout, hallelujah. Shout, sister, shout, hallelujah. Shout, sister, shout. Tell the whole world what it's all about. Honey, there's a way to be brilliant and a way to be a fool, a way to get to heaven, observe the golden rule, a way to get a sweetheart and a way to get a wife, and the day you quit me, baby, that's the way you lose your life. Shout, sister, shout, hallelujah. Shout, sister, shout, hallelujah. Shout, sister, shout, oh yeah. Tell the whole world what it's all about. There's a reason for a mountain, a reason for a hill, a reason that a doctor gives a patient a pill, a reason to dance, a reason to sing. Ain't no reason that a band can't swing. Understand the birds and you understand the bees. We all understand why a rat eats cheese. I understand my dog and you understand your cats. Fill me full of rhythm, you understand that. Shout, oh, yeah. Sister, shout, hallelujah. Shout, sister, shout, hallelujah. Shout, sister, shout, hallelujah. Tell the whole world what it's all about. You know I'm gonna shout. Shout, sister. I'm going to shout. Shout, sister. I'm going to shout it out and tell the world what it's all about. Well done, ladies. I'm just going to pause the music. We've got one more song. So just a quick analysis of this one. This one is a simple one, very repetitive. And for my product, I want them to enjoy the music. There tend to be ladies in the 60s and 80s who enjoy swing music. So they don't want to do lots of different moves. They actually like singing along. It's so repetitive. It's only got two moves. It's got these slides and it's got some shoulder rolls to mobilize the shoulder joints. And they just enjoy just singing along. Some of them don't even dance. They're just kind of bobbing about because they enjoy the music. So it's about you knowing your ideal clients, what they enjoy. If they're a younger group, they may prefer to move around a bit more. So this is one of the warm-up tunes. So my next one is a little bit faster. So I'm going to show you and you can just follow along. So next one's called Shura Shura. Again, it's mid-tempo. I've got some much faster ones. Again, copy me. See what you think of it. So a party feel.
Song fades out. Woo! Well done, girls. Well done. Thank you for dancing with me. I feel like let's just keep dancing rather than doing some more lessons. Right, let's calm down, have a drink, and sit down again. So I'll switch cameras and switch mics, and I'll be with you shortly.
Okay, hopefully you can hear me again. Right, so if I could get you to pop into chat your thoughts about that, your thoughts about it. On either of the routines. So obviously you haven't had any instruction on it. It was designed for you to follow along.
How much instruction would you give to people before you start this routine?
Say that again, Anna.
How much instruction would you give before you start the routine?
Interesting question. Thank you for that, Anna. How much instruction would I give? So I will tell you what I do. I don't give any instruction at all. Yeah. So the second one is a bit faster. So it's a little bit trickier for some people to follow. If it's tricky, it would be partly because you're somebody who tends to think more. Thinking is good, but we're all just different people. So for my classes, this is what I've chosen to do. I teach my teachers to do clear indications. They're all visual cues. Now, obviously, it's not for everybody. Those who like to learn to dance, this is not the kind of class for them. So my ideal clients want to just dance along. The concept for SwingFit is like girls dancing around a handbag on a night out, and they're copying somebody approximately. the copying a confident friend, approximately. And I have tried various ways. Once I called out instructions for a period of time. Then another time I called out some instructions for a period of time. And then this was the early days while I was testing the product. And then when I stopped all instructions, stopped all verbal instructions, my classes filled to 50 people. I'm not saying that works for everybody, but that's what happened to me because of my ideal client group. Do you see, I keep repeating those keywords, your ideal client. For people who love dancing, if they come to this class, they might be bored because it's repetitive. Yeah, for those who want to come and learn technique, they'll be like, I don't know what you're doing. You're not telling us which steps to take. Yeah. So so Tracy's got a good point. The second one is harder to see on Zoom as well, especially when I change directions. So for my SwingFit product, when we're in the room, we don't do what some dance classes do, which is go four corners. We never turn around. I'm always facing the class, and we're always traveling only a little bit to one side, a little bit to the other side, a little bit forwards, a little bit back. Okay, so we don't turn around. So I keep my eye on them for many reasons. I keep my eye on them for safety reasons. I just want to check they're still of a good color and they're still looking okay. I check that they look like they're smiling, not hating it. I check that by looking at them, I can impart joy. Okay, because they've had a hard day, maybe had an argument with somebody, and I'm there to show in my facial expression that everything is okay for this hour anyway, not throughout the whole life. It's too much to ask for. Just for the hour you are with me, all is well, because my values are joy. Okay, my personal trainer, her values are not joy. Doesn't mean she's not a joyful person, but the personal training is meant to cause me pain to make me tone up. So you've got to decide what your values are. So we keep going back to your values, keep going back to your ideal client. Okay, but you must also go with your heart's desire. You must decide whether you are somebody who enjoys giving instruction. I enjoy giving instruction, so I have a different group called Lindy Jazz. I have a group for gentlemen and ladies to dance, everyone to dance from age 18 upwards to learn the complicated technique of Lindy Hop. So I do a lot of explanation and I get a lot of satisfaction out of the explanation because that ideal client group, they want to geek out on technique. So if I give them this product, they'll be like, it's a bit simplistic. What is this? Do you see what I'm saying? So when someone says they don't like what you have to give, remember, don't take it too personally. Say to yourself, who would want my product? Because you need to give things to people that also meets your desires. So if you love giving instruction, then you need to create a product that gives instructions. If you would like a product that doesn't give instructions, but it's a dance along, then you create that. So for my other one, Lindy Jazz, is very technical. Even during the pandemic, we carried on. And apart from teaching it on Zoom, I also provide recordings of the techniques. So they're really like into the geekiness of all the techniques. And for my SwingFit ladies, they just want to keep coming to class because they like the atmosphere of the class and they like connection. So always get to know your ladies. If I was doing teacher training, I would teach you the exact routine. But today, I just wanted you to just taste the product as if you were a participant. But if you're doing teacher training, I'll show you what to do. So I can explain to you now what I did. So Shout Sister Shout is a song I've chosen. It's a very simple song. Shout, sister, shout, hallelujah. I just did it with my shoulders. Hallelujah, shout, sister, shout. It's just got two sections. So to make dancing easy, okay? To make dancing easy to do and to make dancing easy to memorize, you need to know your songs well. I'm assuming you're using music, okay? So if you use music, you need to know that song very well. Either you choose music that is familiar to you, or you choose music that you love so much that you're going to learn it. So what I do is, when I will have a new routine to learn, I do passive learning because I'm busy. I don't have time to sit down and learn all the time. So I do passive learning. I put the song on my phone or my iPad, and it's on constant repeat till it's an earworm. It's on in the morning when I do my hair, when I do my makeup, when I brush my teeth, when I'm cooking. That song is just on repeat. Why do you think young people get to know pop songs so well? Do you think they learn it? No, it's just on. It's on all the time. So they absorb it passively. So to save time learning routines, you need to have it absorbed into you passively. So make sure it's a song you like. Make sure it's the song style you like, because you're going to be listening to it a lot. Yeah. So with my ladies, they like familiarity. Okay, if I have a younger group, they'll want something new all the time. So I'm of that age group. I'm going to be 60 next year. Ta-da! So I'm of that age group. So I understand that familiarity means what? You feel safe. It's like, oh, it's the same songs. But of course, I changed the order of the songs. I just introduce a new one each month. But if it's a younger group, they probably want lots of new ones every week. I don't know. They're not my ideal client group. So for me, I'd like simplicity. So I ask myself, how many new routines do I want to learn every week? So you have to meet your client's needs, but you have to meet your own needs, don't you? You need your sanity, you need your time to be organized. So for me, I wanted simplicity. So I created the SwingFit formula, which allows me to learn it easily, and allows my teachers to learn easily. So I teach them layering, and that means we do one thing at a time. I'll teach them how to do the legs first. Just leave your arms alone. Just do the legs first. And then the next week then the next 5 minutes we do the arms, and then we combine them. If you were doing a fitness only product, they tend to get you to isolate certain muscles to make that muscle work harder. So if I just move my legs and don't move my arms, my legs work harder. But my aim isn't to make my ladies work hard. My aim is to give them a sense of uplifting boost. And I want them to feel like they're dancing. Dancing involves coordination, it involves moving the arms and the legs. So again, I make sure the routines are very simple at the start, and I might do very little with my arms, and then gradually I move more. Then gradually I just move my elbow. Then gradually I move my arms. So I layer it. So I start with my legs, then I move a little bit, then I move a little bit more, then I move a little bit more. So my ladies want to feel like they're dancing. So I keep going on about the words, my ladies. You will have my members or my participants. So in one of our sessions later on, second session, I'm going to help you consistently fill your classes. So that will be about how to find the right people. Yeah. So listen to the music. So recap, choose music you love. If you want to make learning dance easy, choose music you love. Number 2, make it your business to learn the music. Learn the music. So the passive learning is you just put the music on all the time. Then layering. Do one part of the body first when you're learning a new routine. When you watch somebody dance on YouTube, it's like a flurry. It's like, oh, legs, arms, what's going on? When I watch somebody dance, I blinker myself and go, I'm not looking at the arms. I'm just going to look at their legs for a bit. Yeah. Or I might go, I'm not looking at the legs. I'm just going to look at the arms. And I'm going to rewind the video, look at the arms again. So I don't look at everything at once. And make sure you know the structure of the music. Structure. That means sections. So you'll notice that the music I did earlier has got sections that keep repeating. So for swing music, I choose carefully. Some swing music is very complicated, and high level dancers love complicated stuff. Of course they do, don't they? Advanced high level people like complicated stuff. But your participants are not specialists. They're here for fun. They want music with a clear structure. They like things that repeat, because they go like, oh, I've done that, I can do that again. Or they might go, I couldn't get it the first time. Right, I think I've got it now. Yeah, your participants don't expect to get everything at once. This is about managing expectations. When my participants first join me, I send them some information of what to expect. So I say something like, there will be no calling out of instructions. So that's my product. And I'll go, copy me. There's nothing you need to memorize. Because otherwise they're like busy trying to memorize that. Go, there's nothing to memorize. And then I tell them, I will play the same routines again every week. So some of my ladies come several times a week because they really want to learn it. Hence, I've increased my attendance, haven't I? They want to keep coming. And do you know how people learn to dance naturally in the old days? In the Savoy ballroom? Copy someone. But over time, we have got so complicated with our learning. We think we have to have everything explained. But people used to just copy each other. You know, they go like, oh, how did you do that? Can you just do that move for me? People love copying. So your ladies may not get it the first time, or some of you may not get the Shura Shura song the first time. But if you came again the following week, you're like, I've got it now. So I manage my members' expectations by saying, when you come again, you see the same routines. And then to stop them from being bored, once a month, I put something new in the routine. So again, you need to study your client group depending on what they want. And I took 10 years to really listen to them. When I say listen, after class, well, pre-COVID, obviously, I'll go for coffee with them. I'll hear them say what they go like, oh, I love this music, or they'll complain. The complaining is good because that's feedback, isn't it? Then I just ironed out my product over a period of 10 years. So the SwingFit teachers that train with me, they are getting a product that's already been tested. So I just give them my formula, they deliver it, and they get good results quickly. So, but they happen to like SwingFit. So yeah. Is the new song a surprise, or do you give a warning? Anna, I love your questions. So I'll tell you what I used to do, and then I'll tell you what I do. So of course, the answer I'm going to give you is related to my client group. Okay. So my ladies, when I used to warn them, thinking they'll be like excitedly anticipating, I used to say, "Hey, ladies, today I have a new song for you." Then I see their face go like this. Oh, okay. You see, I thought they'd be excited. They'd be like, oh, can I do it? Can I get it? Oh, I like the old songs because they like to be lost in the music. So with the older songs, they can just glance at me. They don't have to concentrate. Remember what I said about thinking and overthinking? They don't enjoy concentrating. Who does? You know? So they like to get lost in the music. So if it's familiar, they can just glance at me for the bits they forget, and they don't have to concentrate. So when I do something new nowadays, I don't tell them. But I make sure there are familiar elements. Meaning, I've just done a move. I've just done a song with shoulder moves. Just an example. If my new song has shoulder moves, I put it in as the next one after that one. They've just done shoulder moves. If I've done slidey feet, if my new song happened to have slidey feet, I just put like just after that one. So the song may be new, but the movement is familiar from the previous song. So they like things to be familiar, but then they don't want you to play the same songs all the time. They like familiar elements. Have you been to a restaurant and you love the menu and then they took away the menu you got used to? It's like, what? I've always wanted my mozzarella pizza, now it's gone. So what restaurants do, they have a normal menu and then they have a specials board. So you have to please your group. You need to know how much familiarity do they want versus how much variety they want. So it's about knowing your group. So next session will start at 11:20. We're going to take a break. I will talk about what your ideal clients, who your ideal clients are, and what they might like. Because you could plan the best set of songs and the best set of choreographies, and then if it's not a right fit, they're not going to come. And then you could spend tons of money on marketing and nobody's there. So the most important business foundation is called ideal client. So we're going to learn about that at 11:20. Okay, so if you've got any questions, pop them in the chat box so I can look over them during our break. Otherwise, you can just switch off your cameras and I'll see you back at 11:20. All right, thanks. I'll just pause the recording now.